Y'all, something is seriously wrong with France. They are in critical condition. Is it time to boot the coach, Fabien Galthié? I'm going to give you my opinion after I break down this insane 13-all draw against Italy. This was not the result I expected, but I'm going to tell you exactly why it happened. Let's get to it. Well, in a sense, it was business as usual in the first half. France definitely looked the better team. There was quite a gulf in quality. Yes, they were playing within themselves, but they looked likely to break the Italians. However, there was something noticeable about the way that the French were attacking. It was incredibly narrow. I mean, I'm a Kiwi rugby fan whose worst fear is the expansive play of the French, because when they're firing on all cylinders and playing that champagne rugby, they're a goddamn force of nature. Need I remind you of the 1999 World Cup, etc., etc., etc. They did not look like a French team today. They played it so narrow. I think I lost track of how many times they gave ball to the props. Now, by the way, I'm all for setting the platform up front. It's got to happen in international rugby. The problem was they'd go to the props, breakdown, go to a Lucy, breakdown, back to a prop, breakdown. The ball did not get much air, and they looked creatively inept. That surprised me. The second major talking point is discipline. Obviously, this is the issue that's dominating world rugby right now. Anytime you're upright and you're making head-to-head contact, you're going to get a red card. It happens. I'm a Kiwi. I remember the Rugby World Cup final all too well. I wake up every morning at 3 a.m. thinking about it, as a matter of fact. However, it's a good thing. They're trying to get rid of head trauma, concussion, deal with all that. Great. You got to get your technique better. However, France, with 14 men, historically have been good enough to dispose of Italy. So what the hell happened in the second half? Well, France was simply not disciplined at the breakdown. They got sloppy, they made some errors, they let Italy back into the game. Not with running rugby, but by taking the points. However, the impact of a red card is felt more and more as the game goes on, and sure enough, fatigue got the better of the French at the end, and the Italians were good enough to get the ball wide and make the most of a man-on-man overlap. It wasn't pretty, but they got it done. So the teams were all tied up, and then cometh the hour, cometh the man. France made another mistake at the breakdown. Italy stepped up to claim a famous win, and they snatched a draw from the jaws of victory. It was terrible. I just wish one team had won either way. I felt so deflated at full time. Now, I have a theory that Italy is actually on the up and has been for several years. Occasionally, you get a result like that pool game against the All Blacks last year, where the Italians were completely decimated, and you think, oh no, they're as bad as they've ever been. But look at the Six Nations evidence. They are getting better and better. They've been losing games against superpowers by a point or two. Well, today they got a draw. It was ugly, but they got a draw. So I'm just going to take my hat off to Italy and say, you guys are improving. But where does that leave France? They got absolutely towed by Ireland in the opener. Now they're drawing with Italy. Is it time to give the coach the boot? I don't think so. I think it's premature. I think we've got to get to the end of this Six Nations campaign. Look, they're a different team without Dupont. It's become very clear that he was their talismanic leader. Look at how he's going in the sevens. I mean, he's scoring tries like a winger. He looks revitalized. I think he's happy to step out of that pressure cooker that he was in, as the face of the French rugby team during their home World Cup last year. That must have taken so much out of him. So he's getting revitalized by the sevens. All hope isn't lost for France, but this is a snake bit campaign. I think they're going to lose again for sure in this campaign, but they do have a good coach. Good enough that they went into their home World Cup as favorites. I don't think a few shoddy games totally turns that around. But he's got a new attack coach, and clearly he does not have the boys firing on all cylinders, playing that expansive Gallic rugby that we love. They still have a powerful forward pack, but something's getting lost in translation with the back. So let's give them a bit more time to fix it. But boy, I don't think France is going to get the wooden spoon this year, but they might come damn close. Yikes.